Rocky from Eve to Adam, and you're listening to J-Rock's podcast. Bookmark it and turn it up. Hey, this is Freddie from Everclear, and you're listening to J-Rock Podcast.
Thanks for listening to J-Rock Podcast. This is J-Rock. Let's go.
Hey guys, this is J-Rock. We have a very special show for you tonight. We get to speak to the London Rockers, Finding Kate. And guys, this band reached out to me probably about a month ago. This band, they are amazing. I am so impressed. They have such a good rocker vibe. They sound a lot, in my opinion, like Evanescence. They have very good tunes. I've been listening to their music all day today, getting myself pumped for this podcast. And Kate, the lead singer, she's so cool. You guys are going to love her. I have a lot of questions for her about the band and touring. So much to go into. Before we get into all of that, though, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to my sponsors. First off, we have Transamerica Life Insurance Company. You can give a call to Rebecca or Daniel Pennington. Call them for a free life insurance quote today. Give them a call at 304-687-2311. Also, Fire Pit in Man, West Virginia. Guys, they have the best pizza, ribs. They have the crab ragoons back. Absolutely delicious food. Check them out. Give them a call at 304-583-7378. Also, we have Bypass Pharmacy. They dispense personal care. You can give them a call at 304-752-1445. Guys, no pharmacy will treat you better. And my new sponsor just recently picked up Rock City Cake Company, located in South Charleston, West Virginia. Guys, they have the best cakes that you can get, the best sweets. If you have a sweet tooth, go check them out. Not only do they have that, but they have a music venue, and they have all these big bands coming there. You definitely need to check them out. Give them a call at 681-265-9154, and they will hook you up. They do deliver to a lot of locations. So, check them out. Okay, let's talk about this band, Finding Kate. They are an alternative rock band. They have music available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Bandcamp, YouTube. You can find them anywhere that is, anything in the music world. This rock band looks up to a lot of bands such as Flyleaf. I think you can tell that in their music. Evanescence, The Pretty Reckless, Live. I mean, they look up to a lot of these alternative rock bands. They are based in London, hailing all the way from Australia and Cyprus. This rocker, Kate, she proves that she's a force to be reckoned with. She has these very powerful vocals, melodic songs, and dark music separate her from the crowd. And I feel that you guys are going to be able to tell that. She has her own website, findingkatemusic.com. You can find her on YouTube, Twitter. She's amazing. A lot of good music. Also among her influences, Deftones. And it's so funny. Like, you look it up with, all these bands and who they look up to. And it's like, you can tell that. You can tell the influence in their music. So crazy. But before we get started, I'm going to let you guys hear a couple of songs from Finding Kate that I really enjoy personally. And it's hard to narrow it down because, honestly, I enjoy all of their songs. I've been listening to them. And guys, when I, get these people to be on a podcast or they reach out to me, I listen to their music, I check it out, and I'm like, okay, is this person someone that I want on a podcast? Are they really bringing their, A game in the rock music world? This band is. Now, if you haven't listened to them yet, you're in for a treat, and you need to look into the rest of their music. You need to download it. It's good stuff, okay? All right, so let's start with, this is a song they have. It's called Drowning. Absolutely love that tune. You guys will have to download that one, especially to check it out. It's called Drowning. I feel a very strong Amy Lee vibe in that song, and some Flyleaf. Like, I can just, feel it, sense it. Check it out. Also, let me let you hear another one of Finding Kate's song. This is a song, I'm going to skip to a little bit of the chorus. It's called Forever. Also, another killer tune, guys. Definitely check it out.
So much more.
And guys, the two songs I just let you listen to, they both have videos. And one thing I really love from a lot of artists is that you can tell that they've really put a lot into their videos to try to have the audience perceive it in a certain particular type of way. And I feel that that's very apparent when you watch the videos for Finding Kate and you listen to the music. I feel that, there's some passion there. And that's really what I look for in a band. If they're passionate about the music that they are releasing and putting out, and, just they're passionate in everything that they're doing with that band, you can tell the difference, okay? You can tell when a band is just throwing something together and throwing it at you and not putting, everything into it. Finding Kate, they are putting everything into their music, into their videos, into their merch. I mean, you can tell, okay? So definitely check them out. And guys, I'm going to dive right into it. This band, Finding Kate, I'm just like some of you. I know a little bit about this band, but I'm very unaware, and I want to get right to it. I want to be able to ask these interview questions and see what we can find out about this band, the touring, the albums, see what we can figure out, and just see how it goes. Okay? All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and give Kate a call right now. All right, guys, we are here with Kate. Kate, do you want to say hey to everyone?
Hi, everyone. How are you?
And, guys, I have to say I'm very pumped for this episode. Kate, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
No, of course. Thank you so much for having me. It's very cool to be interviewed by someone in America, and I'm really excited to be here.
Okay, so let's get started. If you don't mind, go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from. I've talked to my fans, a little bit about that you're from London and things. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Cool. So my name's Kate, Kate Pavley, and my artist name is Finding Kate. So you found me, and I found you, actually. I'm based in London. I was born in Australia, and I grew up in Cyprus, so I'm half Aussie, half Cypriot. And now I've been living in London for the last 5 years, so I'm an alternative rock artist, and I've just released my brand new single, and I have quite a few shows coming up. My new single is called I Feel Bad. You can find it everywhere, and it's alternative rock, and I'm really excited to be here. That's the kind of gist of it, the basics.
Tell us a little bit about when did you first get into the music scene?
Cool. So I think to say properly, getting into the music scene, I was probably about 16, 17. So now I'm 22. I've been singing for the last 10 years. So since I was about 11, 12, I was singing. So I'd say that was sort of where my passion really started. I grew up listening to a lot of rock music because of my dad. And I think the actual music industry sort of steps and the actual start of the music industry career, well, you could say career, so far my journey in the industry was probably when I was about 16. I was approached by a producer in Cyprus who had seen me on Cyprus Has Talent. So that was like a small local competition that we had, kind of like America's Got Talent, but on a very small scale. And I had won that competition back in 2012. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't remember the date. I think it was 2012 I'd won that. And then my producer, I met Chris, who was a producer in Cyprus. I still work with Chris to this day. I worked with him on my brand new single as well. He approached me and wanted to write an EP for me. So he wrote a 4-song EP. I was about 16. And then I'd say that was when the doors sort of opened into this scary music industry world for me.
And guys, let me just say from my personal perspective, you guys need to listen to her new single, I Feel Bad. Totally awesome song. Was jamming it earlier, so check it out. Kate, let me ask you, what do you enjoy most about being a musician, and what would you say that you probably hated the most?
So about being a musician, the thing I love the most about being a musician is the fact that I can just, I know it's going to sound a bit silly, let little parts of my soul and little parts of my mind and just sort of let them go whilst writing or whilst singing. I know it sounds weird, but I feel like certain things that I have inside of me come out when I'm playing music. So I'd say my favorite part is just, I guess, the feeling of it, the feeling of playing piano, the feeling of singing. It kind of frees you. And yeah, I think that's probably my favorite part of being a musician. I wouldn't say it's, my favorite part is how creative you can be. Of course, you can be super creative, but for me, even if what I'm doing isn't that creative, it could be me playing like 2 chords or like the same thing for like a good 5 minutes, and it might just be some shitty little notes, but it's doing something, it's letting go of some things from inside me. So I'd say that's my favorite part of it. And my least favorite part, I don't really have a least favorite part of being a musician. I just think it depends on every person, and probably, the whole system of being maybe a more classically trained musician or a musician who was brought up on, doing exams to be like, oh, I'm getting a certificate here and a certificate there and just trying to do things by the book. I think probably that's the most annoying part for me, because I did grow up doing a lot of exams, did like singing exams, piano exams, and yes, they really helped me sort of shape me into the artist and musician I am today, but they also kind of put you in a box. You do a lot of the same things over and over again just to pass those exams, and then when someone tells you, oh, here, play something else, or be creative, or be, really experimental, you're just like, oh my god, panic. So I think my least favorite part is probably like the sort of more academic side of being a musician, if you get into that sort of thing, of course. Not everyone does it.
Yes, I definitely understand what you're saying there, and that kind of follows up with my next question. The industry, is there something that you would want to change about the industry if you could, and if so, what would it be?
So this is such a huge question. I had it another day at another interview, and I don't really know exactly what to say, but I'd say it's a very tough industry, and I think that you've got to be extremely patient in the music industry, and there's many things I'd love to change, but I don't know where to start, because, for every artist there's a completely different journey. For me, it would be, I wish there weren't so many things changing all the time, so many, it gets a bit confusing when there's just so much out there and so many platforms and so many things, and also social media. It's very, very good for us, in the music industry, but it's also quite stressful. And I'm on a very small scale in terms of, my popularity. And, you've got that stress of having to post or do campaigns, and it's just, I think the financial, I'd say probably the thing that I would want to change is kind of how, I don't know, it's a really tough question. I think just the whole money situation of it, there's a lot of hungry sort of sharks, as we call them in the industry, where they might just be like, oh, pay me this much and I'll do this for you. And pay me this. It's just a bit of a weird one. You've got to be so careful and cautious in the industry. And there's a lot of shit out there, and A lot of stuff that's not worth your time, but you won't know until you do it. And you've just got to be prepared to like sweat and, give your heart and soul. So I can't say an exact thing that I, don't like or dislike about the industry. I'd say that the thing that's probably the most sort of important to me is kind of just sticking to what I believe in. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change anything. I would just say it's just a tough industry, man. I don't know. You've caught me off guard with this question.
No, that's a very good answer. I think you answered that very well. We'll go ahead and let's move on to the next question. Tell me a little bit about your studio process. Do you write your lyrics beforehand and then add music to it, or tell us a little bit about that?
So, with my newer songs now, I'm actually writing a lot more. So usually what happens is I'll just sit down on the piano and just start writing chords usually. And then I will start seeing different melodies with different like sort of phonetics. So like different words that I like, or it could be something that just popped into my head. Like, I don't know, even I Feel Bad. I just sat down on the piano and I said, I feel bad. And then I just kept repeating that sort of same phonetic and bad and sad, and I just kept repeating that. And then I take my ideas, I take them to Chris, and then we work on them together. He might write one or two parts. He might edit some of my chords to make them a little bit more experimental, and then the lyrics come secondary. But a lot of the times the lyrics are stuff that I would have said, the first time I've sat down on the piano. So, like with I Feel Bad, I did say, I feel bad for you, I'm not sad, it's the truth. So it was exactly the same, but a lot of the times I don't have anything sort of solid. So I will start writing sort of some ideas down, and I usually have a lyric co-writer as well. So I'll take them to my lyric co-writer and be like, do you think there's any additional words that you can add, or is there anything you'd like to edit? I've worked with a really cool lyricist this time called Andreas. And so my previous album was again a different writing process. My debut album, If I Fall, which is also like available everywhere. I was less involved in the musical side of it. It was more of my producer's music, a lot of my producer's melodies, and I was just coming in doing very, very few things. And now with my newer stuff, I am initiating most of the things. But yeah, I'd say the process is sort of music, basic melody, develop melody, and then lyrics. Yeah, I'd say that's my order.
Wonderful. So definitely, it's a team process too, is what I'm telling you. Definitely.
Exactly.
Now let me ask you this. What would you say is the ultimate direction you have right now in the world of music? What's your ultimate direction?
You mean my ultimate direction as in genre-wise, or where I would like to be?
For example, are you seeking fame and fortune, or just...
That's an interesting question. I think that my ultimate goal is to be happy with whatever I'm doing. I know it sounds a bit lame, but if I'm not happy, if I'm not releasing stuff that I want to release, then there's absolutely no point in doing it. Of course, I would love to get to the stage where I'm making enough money off it, off my career or off my music, where I don't have to work, like 2-3 jobs, and, I'm not struggling. Not that I'm struggling financially right now, because, I have a family who's very supportive and all that, but to get to the point where, I think I'm famous enough to be known and have enough sort of money to, help out basically all the promotion and the distribution, all that stuff that costs so much money. But I'm not like fame hungry. If it happens, it happens. But it's not my priority to be like, I've got to be famous and I've got to be on the cover of 50 magazines. I'm just happy to be well known enough doing what I love and having enough fans to sustain me and just play lots of shows and release music that I love and be healthy, of course. Be happy and healthy.
I love that answer, and I feel that you can tell that in your music. I feel passion in your music. I really do, and anyone listening to this, guys, you should definitely check it out. Let me ask you this, about this summer, are you doing some shows, some touring?
Yes,
possible?
so I've got quite a few shows coming up with some bands in the UK. I've got another band that I'll be supporting. I don't really know if it's confirmed yet, but maybe I can, no, I guess I can speak about it. I might be supporting Eyes Set to Kill if they come to the UK. I don't know if you remember Eyes Set to Kill. Maybe you've heard of them before. My manager manages them as well, so we've got the same management. So I might be supporting them, hopefully, fingers crossed, in August. But for now, I've got a few shows with Hands Off Gretel. Hands Off Gretel are really, really awesome. I'm playing 2 shows with them, and then I've got a couple more solo shows sort of ready, but I don't have like a proper solo tour yet. I'm looking at supporting a lot more artists and bands before doing, full headline tours by myself.
Okay, and is there a certain page that they can go to find out your touring info?
Yes, so if you go to my Facebook page and you just write Finding Kate, so basically anywhere on the internet, if you type in Finding Kate, you'll be able to see my dates and my events. My website, again, it will have everything on there, findingkatemusic.com. Basically, you just find me and you will find all my info there as well.
Well, let me ask you this question. Is there a band in particular, big or small, that you would just absolutely love to tour with?
Yes, there's many. But I'd say my ultimate favorite band to tour with, well, I would love to tour with like Avril Lavigne. 100% would love to tour with Avril Lavigne or Evanescence. Evanescence have always been one of my favorite bands, one of my biggest inspirations. I'd love basically any of my favorite bands. It's a very tricky question, but I'd say like even Flyleaf, Pretty Reckless, even Pink. I'd love to support Pink. So yeah, people like that would be absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Wonderful. I took my wife to see Evanescence. We had front row tickets to see them at Charlotte at the Fillmore. And I have to say, hands down, best concert that we have ever been to. She will say the same thing.
Was it with the orchestra there?
Yes.
Oh, I saw them in London as well. They brought the same show here. I had goosebumps all over my body. It was just so good. Yeah, that was amazing.
Listen, Kate, this was amazing. I would love to hear from you again soon.
Yes.
Hopefully, you will journey to the United States, because I would love to see you. If not,
so good.
If not, maybe someday in the near future I can head that way. But this
come to the
this is great. Hopefully hear from you again soon. Guys, check out the music for Finding Kate. You can find it on pretty much every digital platform. Check it out. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. Check it out. You will not be making a mistake. Awesome, awesome music.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Jason. And is it WVJ Rock?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
Thank you. It's been awesome. Have a good evening. And I'm going to go to bed now.
Thank you, Kate.
No.
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 Thank you, Kate.